We now move forward to our fifth session, focusing on a crucial area of growth and inclusion. The topic, unlocking the potential of underserved customers, the roles of insurance. Moderating this session is Ms. Hani Kusumawardhani from the IIS 2025 Committee. Joining us as speakers are two visionary leaders in inclusive finance, Professor Abdul Hannan Chowdhury, PhD, Chairman, Grameen Bank and Vice-Chancellor, North-South University, and Dr. Jaime Aristotle B. Alip, PhD, Founder and Chairman Emeritus of the Center for Agriculture and Rural Development, mutually reinforcing institutions.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We will start fifth session. The topic is about unlocking the potential of underserved customer roles of insurance. Our speaker in this session will be Professor Abdul Hannan Chowdhury, PhD, Chairman, Grameen Bank and Vice-Chancellor, North-South University, and Dr. Jaime Aristotle B. Alip, PhD, Founder and Chairman Emeritus of the Center for Agriculture and Rural Development, mutually reinforcing institution. Before start, I will read short bio of Professor Abdul Hannan Chowdhury, PhD, and also Dr. Jaime Aristotle Alip, PhD. Professor Abdul Hannan Chowdhury, PhD, is currently holding the position of Chairman and Director of Grameen Bank and also the Vice-Chancellor of North-South University in Bangladesh. His prior roles include being a former faculty of the SBE and Executive Director of External Relations, boasting 35 years of teaching and research experience, and he has worked with esteemed institutions in Bangladesh, Canada, the United States, and China. Professor Chowdhury has actively participated as a member in numerous professional organizations and committees across Bangladesh, Canada, France, China, Germany, and the USA. And short bio for Dr. Jaime Aristotle B. Alip, PhD, is the founder of the Center of Agriculture and Rural Development, mutually reinforcing institution, or we call CART-MRI, a group of 29 organizations that provide microfinance, microinsurance, and social development services to 9.5 million economically disadvantaged Filipinos and ensuring more than 31 million lives. Dr. Alip is a poverty eradication practitioner with more than 40 years of experience in social enterprise development. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Chowdhury and Dr. Alip. Okay, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon. Well, first of all, I would like to thank the Indonesian Insurance Summit, Executive Committee for inviting me. I'm truly delighted and also overwhelmed by the participants and also the objective of the conference that you have set a day for actually brainstorming for the insurance, prospect and reimagining the future of the insurance. I would like to say a few things before I actually go back and actually represent the Grameen Bank, the bank for the poor people. But before that, I would like to set, the ground for the insurance people, those who have been actually working in the insurance sector across the world. For all of you, for most of you, you really need to know the state of the current world. The world that we are living right now is not the same world that we are here today. The past world was not the same that we are experiencing today. This is a world full of people, 8.2 billion people in the planet Earth, and therefore if it is coming to the insurance issues, there are enormous issues that is going to come in front of the insurance dimension. But we have to understand that how all this become, a complex for every insurance services that you are actually coming and bringing into the table, because the world has changed due to the, convergence of the technology and full of people. This world, at the first very time in 1803, we have got the first billion people in the planet Earth. The planet Earth got the first billion people in 1803 and 1804. The second billion people that we have got in this world is around 1927, only after 20 or 25 years after we got the second billion people in this world. And the third billion people that we got in this planet Earth was in 1967 and somewhere close to 1970s that we got the third billion people. And currently we are holding a world full of people of 8.2 billion people. This is going to be in 2050 around 9.8 billion people in the planet Earth and the world that we are living. And you are talking about insurance and giving support and insuring people, lives and other things through insurance services. These are going to be heavily complex and difficult for most of you. Why? Because the people are going to accumulate and the complexities in this world are going to be severe for most of us. And this world that we are projecting and foreseeing in the upcoming future is going to be heavily, the technology converged, and therefore, just because the technology has converged, the services that we are talking about, even the insurance services, are going to be quite difficult and problematic, and you are going to be, not going to be able to serve everybody that you would like to serve. Now, today that I am going to represent Grameen Bank, as I became the chairman of Grameen Bank only 7-8 months before, I am entirely an academic who has been working in the academic arena for the last 37 years. So for me also to represent this bank, because most of you know this is a bank that won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 through the contribution of Professor Muhammad Yunus, who is now the Chief Advisor, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. And this is a bank that is only devise anything and everything for the poor people of the country, and that it has spreaded the model of the microcredit banking and microcredit, economics is, actually spreaded in more than 120 countries in the world. Now, how does the concept of Grameen Bank has started? Many of you know that the conventional banking system that we all are acquainted with, the conventional banking system is actually depriving the most of the people that we are actually talking about to include in the service processes, because the world that we have created is a segregated world. And this segregated world is only focusing people, those who have, and they do not have any services or focus for including them, a big chunk of the population, those who are underserved. So today I'm going to talk about a bank for the poor, a bank for the unbanked people, a bank that not following the conventional method of serving people. Grameen Bank is a bank that was actually designed for mainly the women, and 98% of its customers and clients and the borrowers are female. And why it is different? It is different that anything and everything that we see in the conventional banking process, Grameen Bank is actually practicing everything in the opposite way. Most of you know that, well, the conventional bank is actually working mainly and predominantly in the urban areas, but the Grameen Bank is actually working in the opposite side of the scenario, that it is only working in the poor and the vulnerable areas in the community. Traditionally, the banks are providing services to the men predominantly, but this is a bank that only designed for women, those who are outside the economic activities. So we have created a world that is actually focused through the capitalistic system, that is only focused for a segment of the people, whereas we see that our other side, is truly eliminating a big chunk of the people. So today, I'm going to talk about unlocking the potential of underserved customers, the role of insurance. That's, although in the Grameen Bank we have very less, serving in the mainstream people in the country. Many of you know that in 1983, this bank concept was evolved as a bank, and by the Nobel laureate Professor Muhammad Yunus. At this moment, we are serving 10.66 million, around 10.5 million borrowers. 98% of them are actually women, and we are serving in across the country around 81,000 villages. We are also actually providing employment around 24 and 24,000 people, and 98% of the loan recovery that we get from the loan distributed among the women's, and we have a very big loan portfolio among the poor people of the country. And so you see, this is a bank that won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 because of its efforts to create economic and social development from the bottom pyramid of the society, and through the concept of microcredit that Professor Muhammad Yunus has actually introduced. So you see that most of us, we need that the conventional bank's purpose and the Grameen Bank purpose. You see that the target customers for this bank is basically poor, landless, and especially women. Whereas we see that the conventional bank serves individuals and businesses with collateral. Conventional banks provide loan and disburse money through a collateral that somebody else or he, she, or the organization has to give the collateral. In Grameen Bank, there is no concept of collateral because all these people are women, and you cannot actually get a collateral. You believe them that they are, they are bankable and they are trustworthy, and that's why you are going to put, investment to them. And this is what does not require any collateral for loans. On the other hand, conventional bank checks the credit ratings for the customers, but Grameen does not check the credit, checking for any customers. They believe that anyone and everyone can be actually bankable. So the loan size, the conventional bank provides very big size of the loan, but Grameen actually provides loan very small size of the loan. And many of you know that, well, these women in the rural village of Bangladesh are actually doing small farmings and small businesses through which they actually come up and overcome the poverty level of their economic level. So generally, the conventional bank always provide loans which are very large, and in Grameen Bank, they provide loans in a group format where every members of the group, they take care of the others in terms of any sort of failures or troubles or, sort of problems they face while they are doing businesses and other things. In the conventional bank, we see that, well, whether it is an organization or an individual, you actually provide loans even an individual. In the Grameen Bank system, actually it is the borrowers, they are the owner of the bank. Whereas in the conventional bank, we all know that, well, it is the shareholders or the investors, those who put money for banking system, they are the owner of this bank. So this is a bank that truly, try to be inclusive in terms of including the, bottom pyramid of the people in this society, those who are outside the economic system. And it provides, microcredit system provided a collateral-free loans, rural, poor women, and it actually works in the, with an objective of empowering the women and also empowering the marginalized group. And it spread it across the nation, and it is now beyond across the nation. It is in entire world in terms of the model is accepted by many countries. So it is a very innovative model. For many of you know already that, well, this has been there for about 45 years in the banking sector. And it is a catalyst for global microfinance. It inspired the microfinance movement across the world, and finally been able to achieve the Nobel Peace Prize Award for women economic empowerment in 2006. So the role of insurance in financial inclusion. Although in Grameen Bank system, there are very less discussion on insurance system for its borrowers or for its employees, but then again, it has some embedded security things for the customers and the borrowers, those who take loan. For them, there are some things that we actually design in the system. The underserved do not lack, the fundamental belief that, well, the underserved do not lack ambition, they lack security. And therefore, Grameen Bank provide those security for all those underserved customers. For example, their medical emergencies, cyclone, or any other catastrophe that creates problem in their own businesses, and the Grameen Banks take care of those things through their built-in system. So, risk of protection for the poor is covered by this banking system. Insurance offers a safety net against financial shocks such as illness, crop failures, natural disasters, and sort of calamities and flood, famine, anything and everything happens to the customers and the borrowers of the bank. Bank do provide them refinancing and also, taking the responsibility of those. Enabling access to credit and investment, insurance can make poor individuals and small businesses more creditworthy. For instance, crop and livestock insurance can make banks more willing to lend to farmers. And that's what happened even in last year in Bangladesh. One part of the country was flood affected. Every Grameen Bank borrowers, they got the financing to cover their businesses again. So it encouraged the savings and assets buildings. Most of the fund currently that the bank has is actually the profit that has been achieved and also gained through the contribution of those borrowers from long since. Because every borrower is 10.66 million borrowers. Every borrower is actually a shareholder, and therefore their savings and other things is coming as a other sort of investment in the banking system, and that has given actually enormous capital into this banking system that truly take care of future generation of the customers. So you see that the micro insurance in serving the underserved, as we highlighted, the insurance not only safeguards and underserved, but also supports the broader financial inclusions, and recognize that Grameen Bank now approaches to insurance not merely as a financial product, but as a vital development instrument, one that protects hopes, upholds dignity, and promotes lasting opportunity. So, offering microfinance for health, agriculture, climate-related risk, anything and everything that we are actually covering through the banking system, enabling our borrowers to take bold steps because we give them assurance to take care of those, to invest more confidently so that they cannot put themselves in trouble because they should be going with boldness and, they educate their children and other things. We have also extra funding opportunities or investment opportunities for future generation of the borrowers. And recently, very recently, we have incorporated one insurance, healthcare insurance in the banking system because we wanted to see that, well, how do we actually cover the health issues, for the borrowers. And that was a technology-driven healthcare, system that we have incorporated in the banking system. In last month, we have covered 1 million of our borrowers in the healthcare system, the insurance policy, that a very low cost services that provides hospital services, pharmacy services, even the discount in the drug purchase from the pharmacy. And that is what is the objective. And this is the project that we call the Shukhi. Shukhi is actually an app-based health insurance services through which actually we are giving services for healthcare to our customers, to our borrowers, to our employees. So it's a community engagement, actively collaborates with the local organizations to understand, address the unique challenges faced by marginalized group. And accessible services offers services designed to be accessible to individuals from diverse background, ensuring no one is left behind. And it empowers initiatives, the implements programs aimed at empowering underserved population through education, resources, and all sort of support. So I think after introducing this low cost, very low cost actually, health insurance that we provided less than $1 per year for at least 12 times free for all sort of medical support, and then also some hospital supports with death penalty, support that we give very nominal amount, but we have included that things in our Shukhi projects for the Grameen borrowers. So I think the Grameen Bank impact, many of you know, has spread it across the world, that it is predominantly working for the bottom pyramid of this society, particularly women. And most of the women, they have returned, and also they are actually, complying with the bank's regularity and other issues. And 98% of the loan are recovered. We have very less failures in terms of the collection of the recovery. So this is a project, the bank that actually, a very inclusive bank, but it has spread it in a very faster mode. And there are many stories that you are going to see in Bangladesh, that is, single individual has taken money initially 30-40 years back. Now they have economically they became very solvent and overcome many their problems and issues in their livelihood. So today, the story that I was trying to say, that the upcoming future for the insurance services are going to be also complex in the sense that the current world that we are living is a segregated world. If we do not see that we can overcome most people from the bottom pyramid of the society to take them in the crossing the subsistence level. If you see their income generation is average very low, you are not going to be able to sell even the concept of insurance in many societies in the planet Earth, because most people, they are not going to be able to even subscribe or even give the basic fee or policy premium for the insurances. So it is very important for insurance purposes to overcome the bottom pyramid of the society through education and through lifting them from the economic barrier. And you will see that at one given time, people are going to become more civic and also economically overcome. They are going to be able to purchase and also subscribe any sort of insurance, policies and other things that you would like to provide. And due to the penetration of the technology that I said, the technology has penetrated enormously in our society, and you will see that more complexities are going to come in the business and trades and other sort of services that we are providing. But Grameen is actually addressing to overcome the people, and I would emphasize that if we follow those things, the Grameen model, that you can actually uplift the poor people of the society who can actually address and also be part of the insurance system in the upcoming world. So I do not want to actually prolong. All I want to say that Professor Muhammad Yunus is always saying poverty is not created by poor people, it is created by the institutions and a system design, problem and issues that we all are facing. With all this, at this moment, I'm ending this, but if you have questions, feel free to ask me questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Chowdhury, for the very inspirative presentation about Grameen Bank. And I will stage for Dr. Alip, but before I will remind everyone that there will be a Q&A session using Slido. Please type on your questions on the Slido, and we will discuss after the presentation ended. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Hani. Can I have my slides, please? Okay.
Continue to that. Dr.
Thank
Alip.
you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you for the organizer for inviting me. I will share the experience of card MRI in the field of microinsurance on how we are able to tap the unbanked, the unserved, and the underserved, and what is the role of microinsurance. This is the card mutually reinforcing institution. It's card MRI. You see, this is intergalactical. We have about 29 companies, but let me first give you the major ones. We own 3 banks and 1 microfinance NGO. The 3 banks, 2 banks are concentrating in the rural area, and the other one is in the urban area, doing microfinance, just like Grameen. And the graduates of microfinance move to the next level. There is life after microfinance. They become SME, who generate employment and helping our society create more economic activity. We also have our own IT group. We have 3 companies. We have, in fact, one of our partners is here. We have a joint venture with the Indonesian, with Patoto, who is helping us a lot in our core banking system. And this is the story why we were able to move to millions because of the robust core banking system, because of Patoto's group. And we also have our insurance company. We have 3 companies, which I will discuss at a later time. And we're also having our own health program. We own hospitals, clinics. We're also owning 2 pharmaceutical companies that produce generic and quality and very low-cost medicine. We're in the field of education. We own 5 campuses in different parts of the country so that we're able to generate more education to our membership, sons and daughters. And the other major thing that we were having, now we're going to marketing. We also have 3 companies. 1 company, we're in partnership with the Indonesian. This is the Salen Group. My principal counterpart is here, Pareji. You're the one responsible for bringing me here. I cannot refuse him because we might have some trouble in the partnership. So that's why I am obliged to come here. So this is the whole card MRI. We are not in the business of financing or microfinance or microinsurance per se. Our business is poverty eradication. That's why we had a lot of this component, helping our poor bring them out to poverty. This is the geographical map of the Philippines. We are covering about 3,650 units and offices all over the country. We're present in all the provinces. 97% of the entire villages and cities and municipalities were present. In fact, we have an operation very near to Indonesia. In Bato Island, this is about only 1 hour by pump boat. We're already in Sulawesi. So we're very near each other. And today, we have about 20,000 full-time staff and several volunteers and coordinator totaling to about 37,000. Later, I will connect this with our microinsurance activities. And our client base is now about 9.6 million families, covering about 32 million lives. This is the biggest microinsurance in our country in terms of our outreach. We're covering 27% of the entire population of the country, and this is the poorest segment in our country. This is the bottom of the pyramid. We also have operation in other countries. We're present in Hong Kong, Vietnam, also in Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar. Also, disseminating our technology in social development, microfinance, and microinsurance. I've said about this, the client base is about 9.6 million families, covering about 32 million lives. Just like Grameen Bank, our repayment rate is near perfect, 99%, and most of our clients are not only women. We have included the men also, because we want to make sure that we have this gender balance. Now, let's talk about microinsurance. Microinsurance to us is a very important and integral part of our operation. You know, the Philippines is one of the countries, in fact, number one in Asia, after Bangladesh, of course, in terms of calamity. We are visited by 21 typhoons every year before the climate change. Now it's about 23, 24. So every month, we have 2 typhoons every month. We are the typhoon capital of the world. Therefore, it's important to us to really look at insuring our clients in terms of safety net. So this is our story. We have 3 companies. First is the Card MBA, 100% owned by the members. It's a mutual insurance. We're the first one to lobby and get this license. And the MBA, the mutual insurance, is able to provide life, loan insurance, and retirement fund. By regulation, we're only allowed to do life insurance in this MBA. But it's a very powerful insurance that we were able to get from the regulation, because one member or one woman or a husband who is a member of CARD, all the entire family is insured. So we have that protection for the family. So that's our competitive advantage. We're insuring every member of the family. We also have another company, 2 companies, Kamya, our broker company, and Card Pioneer. We partner with another commercial insurance company for the non-life. The non-life, as I've said, we're visiting by typhoons every month, almost 2 typhoons every month. So we came up, we were the first one to come up, the disaster insurance. If there is typhoon, and if the client's house are devastated, right away, we pay the insurance benefit to them. If there's death in the family, right away, we pay. Because we believe that when the poor have this kind of calamity or disaster, we should be able to respond. And I think this is also who you are. You want to make a response to them. We also now in healthcare, we just recently launched our HMO because we have our own hospital, clinics, we have our own doctors and nurses, we have our school of medicine. We want to make sure that the poor in our country is treated first class. During pandemic, because we don't have the hospital, they die in the street. Learning from that, we said we will build our own hospital. We now have 5 we have invested and we have our own, and they are treated with first-class patients. So they can come, they don't have to pay because we have our insurance. This is very important for the poor. Because, as I've said, our business is poverty eradication. Now, we say that you have health, you have already protection for the credit and the life. What about the business? We're now coming up with business interruption insurance. We made sure if the business failed, then there is an insurance for that. We pioneered on that also because this is very important for the poor so that if the business, there is still income for them for the next 2 weeks or 1 month. So this is the business interruption insurance. And because of climate change, I'm more emboldened to do agricultural insurance. We're not doing so well at the moment, but we're getting there. We're making sure that we will be tapping our own expertise because our repayment in agriculture is quite good. So we now have this business interruption insurance and then agricultural insurance. Next time, I'm thinking of coming up with income support insurance to make sure that they really will have more funds when they are needed. Now, every day, because we have 32 million lives that we're covering, every day, by the conclusion of today, 182 deaths, and we're paying about 10 million pesos every day. Translation, this is about $200 US. By the conclusion of this day, we will have 182 deaths. This is and 97% of the claims were able to pay within 8 hours, maximum 24 hours, because the claim settlement is very important for us. Okay, now, the key successes. Martua said, give the key successes. These are the experiences. Because CARD MBA is part of the CARD group, this life insurance and credit insurance is compulsory. Anyway, the clients love it because all the members of the families are insured. And we have a strategic connection. Our MBA offices are actually within strategic position because we have 20,000 staff. We leverage our network with our insurance. So the cost in doing business is very, very near. Our overhead cost is only about 11 to 13% in terms of overhead costs versus traditional insurance company in our country whose cost is ranging to 37 up to 50%. That's why we're able to reduce costs with maximum benefit, and we're able to provide all this assistance instantly. 824. We're known before as the 135 institution. What does it mean? Within 1 day, we will pay. If there are questions, in 3 days. In 5 days, with finality. But because of the robust technology which Pat Toto helped us, your team, thank you very much for that. Because of that, we are now completely digital. That's why I challenge our team, we now do 824. Within 8 hours, everything should be settled. 97% of the claims were able to pay in 8 hours, and then the rest 24 hours. So we've been doing this, and I said to our team, if you're able to do 824, then do it in 4 hours. So by next quarter, we will do 4-8. Within 4 hours, you will pay. 8 hours, that's with finality. In our tradition, most of our traditional insurance company, not all, but a number of them, they also have 824. It takes them 8 months, 24 months before you get paid. Sometimes you don't get paid at all. Now, what is also our success factor? we work with our coordinators. These are from the client, these are the leaders that are elected in the community, so they're the first line of defense. When there is a claim, the MBA coordinators, who are not our staff, but all volunteers, they will be the one to make the validation. And once it's validated, our technology will come into play. And we can make, that's why we're able to make the payments right away. All our clients, we have this constant listening with them. That's why our products are always attuned, are always responsive to them. We work regularly with regulators. We lobby a lot of the policy changes. We're the first game in town. We were the first one who lobbied. Also, we got first license in the mutual, the micro taka pool. We also got the license in Islamic banking in the Philippines. Last but not the least, I'd like to emphasize ownership. I think ownership is very important. Our institution, our card MBA, and our insurance company is substantially, if not 100%, owned by the members. This is very important. I've always believed in the golden rule, he who has the gold rules. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Alip, for the presentation. Very insightful. Now, we will open the questions and answer sessions through Slido. If there is any questions, please type it on a Slido and then we will answer it accordingly. But before the questions appear, I think this is very relevant, like I mentioned before, from the previous session, that the potential of whether it's a bank or insurance for the underserved customer is actually quite significant. And now, there's a question that you've mentioned that poverty is not created by poor people, by the system we design. In your view, what systemic changes are necessary to make insurance more accessible to the bottom of the pyramid's populations? Maybe Professor first and then Dr. Alip can answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the poverty is not created by the poor people. It is a systemic issues that we have created in this society, the economic system that we have created in the whole world is responsible for these things. The current economic system have failed addressing the bottom pyramid in all respect, and this is not the system that is going to actually sustain long unless we can actually address the bottom pyramid issues. When it comes the insurance policies and other things, microinsurance is something very important that one has to think about the capacity of the customers, borrowers, bottom pyramid people. They are under the subsistence economic level. So their purchasing power and cost of living, everything is high compared to their earning. How could they even be part of the insurance system, while you see that, well, the insurance policies are not favorable to the bottom pyramid of the society. And that's why we would like to see that, well, the insurance agencies and the companies, entities, those who are involved in those, they should also think about that, well, how they can actually include the bottom pyramid in the insurance system by reducing the cost for actually covering the insurance premium and other things. Overall, I would say that while cost of living is something where we have to think about the knowledge and the education part of the bottom pyramid of the society, that should enhance so that we can actually create an equal society with equity. Now the current state of the society is heavily dispersed by the people, those who have and those who have not. And if you want to include the have not part in the insurance system, that is always going to be a big problem to address with the current and existing insurance practices that we have within the organizations.
Okay, thank you, Professor. For Dr. Alip, do you want to add something?
Yeah, let's start with the structural change. Ownership issue is very important. as rightfully said by Professor Chowdhury a little while ago, you know, the ownership of the Grameen Bank is owned by the poor. In the case of card, the whole group is substantially owned by the poor. Our insurance is 100% owned by the poor. That is why structurally equity is shared by all. And therefore, when they have a participation, then structurally you are empowering them. That's very important. That is why our claims payment, it did not come from us. They said that, you know, we are the owner of this company. We want our payments right away. This is just like savings. When there is when there's a demand to withdraw the savings, you must pay. You must give it. That's why in the structural change that we did, they are owner, and because they're owner, they're coming up with a policy. That's why, to me, I've said in my conclusion, from experience as a practitioner, it is always important that you give them part, you become part owner of this company. And that is why when we also had a joint venture with a commercial insurance company, it was also on a 50-50 basis. And we're part of the decision making. That's why we're able to come up with several kinds of insurance products that are not available in traditional insurance industry.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we go to the next session, next question. What has been your experience in overcoming financing challenges in health insurance for underserved community and ensuring all health needs are covered? Maybe Dr. Alip first, because this is related to insurance.
Yeah, in health insurance, number one, when we had this COVID, as I've said earlier, our clients are not treated very well because they don't have the means. That's why we said we will now expand our health program by establishing our own clinics, investing in a hospital, and constructing our own hospital so that they become first-class citizens. They're our priority. And to ensure that they will have payments to be made, we have that HMO. So they have this health card, they buy this health card, and if they get hospitalized and go to the clinic, then our health insurance will be able to pay. Plus, there is superiority in our health insurance because once they are in the hospital, they are not able to do business. So we have this income loss health insurance so that if they are hospitalized for 1 week or 2 weeks, then there is an income for them. That's how we address it.
Okay, thank you. Professor Chowdhury, do you have something to say?
Is pretty similar to him also. The way the Grameen Bank is actually working right now for the health insurance purposes. I said even in my presentation, I said that recently we have introduced a Shuki, a healthcare system which is heavily technology based, but we are providing services in the rural villages also. The customers and clients, they can go to the nearby hospital or nearby pharmacy to get the support, and doctor support with prescription is also first 12 visit to the doctor is actually covered by the insurance. And this insurance, the beauty of that is actually the premium. The premium is so low compared to the traditional and the existing insurance policy. It is 5 to 10 times lower than the premium that they are paying. The other thing that my colleague has also mentioned, that apart from the external support, that Grameen family, they have also are going for actually hospital systems. The first hospital is coming in the very quick and fast, around 500 bed hospital is coming in Dhaka city, and also 200 is small 50 bed hospital is actually coming across the country. These are the upcoming projects that are coming through the Grameen family, but they are going to incorporate in the banking client system. So we're going to take the advantage of that support for our clients.
Thank you, Dr. Chowdhury. For the time, because time is almost up, I would like to wrap up all of the...
There is one thing
Okay,
that I'd
sure.
like to discuss also, because whenever I have this opportunity in a plenary, you know that when it comes to life insurance, in all regime in Asia, the non-life tax, premium tax, is only about 2% to 3%. In Indonesia, I think that's also your premium tax. Now, in Asia, including Indonesia, when it's non-life, the premium tax is very expensive. In your regime, I think it's about 12% or 15%. In other regime, it's about 27%. Now, if you're dealing with the poor, and if you want to really lobby, I think you have to discuss with government also to lower the premium tax. This is a challenge and a shackle for micro-insurance for the poor. For life, no problem. But for non-life, this is the issue. Especially if you're talking of disaster insurance, health insurance, other kinds of non-life insurance. So I think we have to work with our regulators around this issue on the premium tax. Because if premium tax is very high, you will have to pass it on to the clients. And if you're dealing with the poor, that may not be affordable.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's kind of what I would like to wrap up to all of the presentation. Takeaway for this, that the role of inclusive financial, specifically insurance, crucial to not only bridge the financial gap, but provide the opportunity. And then also, all of us, we have the role on promoting economic stability and protecting vulnerable population. So let us consider innovative model and collaboration to expand insurance coverage to also to underserved customers. So one more, please give round of applause to Dr. Chowdhury and Dr. Alip. Thank you so much.